What do I want? It's a question that everyone eventually has to ask themselves. The key motivator for every action taken. The cause behind every effect. So, what do I want? I want to go to a sporting event in every major venue. I want to grow within my relationships with my friends and my family. I want the freedom to create without the fear of failure. I want to dream without being hindered by reality. I want to chase new passions, new experiences, and new goals. I want OldMilk to branch out of the box and try new things. I'm accomplishing some of these goals right now, and I know what I need to do to achieve the rest of them. However, the one thing you should take away from this commercial is, I want you to buy OldMilk merch. Oh, you got a Black Mets hat on today. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I got the real cool Ame Leon door. I'm real cool New York guy today.
Matching it with the orange and blue. You got the polo on too. First of all, let me see that horse real quick. You got to show the family the horse. Oh,
horsepower.
Horsepower.
Yeah, it's this small little designer. You might have heard of him, Ralph Lauren.
I think I might have heard of him before. Maybe like so many different clothes, towels, bed sheets, and all that stuff. You know. Look at the fucking drip. Anyway, how are you doing today?
Good. Our Mets going crazy. Back in California, feeling good. Can't believe it. I mean, what a world, what a life, really.
The first of all, are you scared that your basketball season is canceled because Danilo Gallinari got hurt?
Come on now. I can give a fuck.
If that's the
I don't know what that man was talking about yesterday, but
if that's the difference between the Celtics winning a championship and missing the playoffs, then you guys might as well just get ahead of everything and trade Jason Tatum.
Trade Tatum, Brown, Smart for picks.
Yeah,
we're in a rebuild now. Gallo went down.
Oh no. not like y'all got Derek White and signed or traded for Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams coming back, and Grant Williams might be better and
out. You thinking out Gallinari on the Hawks last year?
I mean, 40% is solid. Like, he's a great shooter. Don't get me wrong, but like, he's not. If he's a top 4 player on your team, that's a problem.
I put him at like 8 or 9 in the rotation. Yeah. Like I don't care.
Yeah, he's there for like when you're down 20 and you need threes.
Right.
Like, he'll knock him down.
It could be. I mean, if he's able to rehab all season and not play games and whatever, and he can come back and whatever, you know what I mean? Like February, March, something like that. Obviously, they need to do the whole test and everything. It's just tweets right now, but no, I don't care at all. I saw it and I was like, damn, like that sucks for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him being excited to play for the Celtics, like the team he rooted for as a kid or whatever. I was like, that sucks. And he got hurt playing Eurobasket and can't play like the next game, where he was like, I don't even get to play like in my hometown now. But so it sucks for him. Yeah. But for the Celtics, I mean, no offense, Cal, but I don't really care.
What do you think about this whole because I think this all ties into the concept of NBA players only playing on NBA courts with the whole Chet being out for the season thing? Like, where's your stance on all that?
I could see more conversation about the Pro-Am situation, like we saw in Seattle last weekend. The Eurobasket stuff, like, that's professional basketball, though. That's not like, I get like the only NBA stuff, but like, how are you going to tell a guy, no, you can't go play for your home country? Because you play pro basketball in the US, so you can't go back home and play the basketball that you probably care more about.
Yeah.
Obviously, it might be better in the States and it might be whatever on the biggest stage, but you can't tell me these guys like Nurkic and Jokic and
Did you
you
see
know what I
Giannis
mean?
and Jokic go at it?
No, I didn't.
Jokic he did the what do you call it? Soundboard shuffle turnaround
Yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah.
corner three over
Uh-huh.
Giannis and knocked it down all net.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he does.
Crazy,
No, and I
crazy to
imagine
think he's
that
not a
that basketball is such it's a different intensity. It must be such like a different animal than like NBA must feel like work for it is. It's
yeah.
like a job, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
everything is part of it. That's like more like no, we're playing for like we're
Those are the
legit playing
real
for the name on the
rivalries.
front and
Yeah.
the name on like yeah.
Those are
So
the real bad blood of they don't really like each other. That's where you could start tossing all those little
right.
sports things in there. But that being said, we do have music to talk about. So I guess this will be the open. Welcome to the Cat Podcast. This is episode 317. I am Nate Sproul. That is Taylor McLeod. Thank you for watching on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Amazon Music, and more. Do us a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You don't have to do that now, but at some point, because we're talking JID today, and I have some shit to say about JID. So Taylor probably does too. Like we're here. That's why we're here. So like
It
obviously Taylor
is.
has some shit today to say.
Now we just come in here and sit in silence for 40 minutes. Hang
just
up. Yeah, hang up.
okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So I said the little dude do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and now it's time to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OldMilk Media. Check out the Old Milk Spins playlist on Spotify and YouTube, and check out all the Old Milk content at oldmilk.co. That being said, I already said it, but I have to say it again just for formalities, I guess. We're talking about JID's The Forever Story, 15 tracks, 59 minutes long, featuring Kenny Mason, Earth Gang, 21 Savage, Baby Tate, Lil Durk, Ari Lennox, Yassine Bey, Lil Wayne, Jonta Austin, Raven Lene, and Aaron Allen Kane. Additionally, this album was supposed to be 16 tracks long. However, the outro track 2007 was not allowed to be on DSPs because of a sample issue. So you can find the album on JID's YouTube channel, the 15 tracks that we'll talk about here, and then you can find 2007 on the Dreamville YouTube channel, which is kind of weird to me. I feel like it should be on the JID channel with the rest of it, so at least the full album is someplace cohesively together. But I guess that kind of opens us up to talk about more of the atmosphere around JID, which we will get to. So I think the first thing that we should say is our initial thoughts on the project. So Taylor, what do you think about the Forever Story? Will you love it forever?
I don't know if it's like something that will last as long as some other projects that came out this year. And like you and I have talked about it multiple times, we've been really spoiled this year. Like in terms of big artists or the artists that everybody's waiting for to drop. I mean, there's only like two of them that really haven't dropped. And you can correct me if I'm wrong in terms of people that are in like my mind, and it's like Cole, but he came out last year, so
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything this year. And then like ASAP Rocky, but obviously I don't
I
expect
don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on because
exactly. I
I
don't
did
expect
hear
that
the
musical
rumors.
output.
Yeah,
Right.
like I heard the rumors of him supposed to drop something this year, but with the whole Rihanna thing and he's getting sued and like I think he has a case on him now or something like that.
No,
Like
he does.
it's so up in the air about ASAP Rocky and on the whole ASAP mob in general. To be
Yeah.
honest, but to your
So
point,
in terms of, will it last forever? Will I love it forever? I'm not sure. But because of the wait that we had for this, it was 4 years, right?
mm,
Automatically, and you said it perfectly in text yesterday, there's this modern day nostalgia because it's not like JID's giving us a project every single year and it's just like, all right, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. So you already have that built in, it feels a little special when it comes out. And
mm,
honestly, like front to back, it's a good album. I wouldn't like there's no way that I would be like this is bad or I don't want to listen to it. Like I will listen to it more and I do like it. And I think that we all know that JID is a prolific rapper. And I think this is a huge step into like showing us like everything that he can do because it's kind of unfair how like the best rappers get critiqued because for some artists, if they give us a project and it's 15 songs and then just like rapping really well, we're like, this is great because we're not necessarily used to that. It's a surprise. The rappers who are like
we're
elite
expecting
and do
it from. Yeah.
right, so like rapping well isn't enough. So then you're like, all right, no, I need to see the artistry, I need to see the cohesiveness, I need to see the intention behind all this. So I think obviously JID, just because of how good he is, like gets, graded a little harder. But even being graded harder, I think this is a really good album.
Yeah. I like the, I guess, kind of disclaimer that you put in at the end talking about JID on a different level from a normal rapper, because everything that I have to say goes to that point. Because when I look at JID, I look at someone who's versatile. I look at someone who's limitless with the ability and the ways that he's able to fit on a song. And we saw that throughout the time between DiCaprio 2 and now the Forever Story. DiCaprio 2 came out in 2018, so it has been 4 years. However, JID hasn't necessarily gone away, because you have Revenge of the Dreamers in 2019, and then you have Spilligion with Spillage Village. Some of, I think, Earth Gang is in there, and a few other artists that made this collective, and I really enjoyed that album too. D-Day Against the Grills mixtape is something that we talked about earlier, and we spoke about JID, we spoke about J. Cole, and also the lesser known Dreamville artists making their impact on that. Additionally, what I will say to D-Day is there are rumors that JID's next album is going to be a Gangsta Grills mixtape. So I say all that to say, understanding the talent that JID has, I feel like this album is comparable to Baby Keem's Melodic Blue from the standpoint of the talent is clearly there, the concepts are clearly there, but it doesn't fully come together in a way where we can champion this album as cohesive, as one of the best of the year, or even in the album of the year conversation, even though all the things or all the components are there. I think that, first of all, the fact that JID has been working on this album, or has been taking his time with this album. We haven't heard from JID by himself in 4 years. The fact that 2007 isn't fully on the album is kind of inexcusable to me, because of the fact that it's been 4 years. So you're telling me that it's been 4 years and you didn't consider adjusting, you didn't consider taking out the sample, you didn't consider replacing 2007 with another track that is fit to be the outro, excuse me, because the last track that we have on Spotify and Apple Music isn't an intro like track. I think that the two tracks before it, Money, and also, I did write this down because it's also one of my favorite tracks, Better Days. I think that those two tracks were better suited to like close out the album. The track listing in general is kind of random to me. I think that when you have Radar and then it goes into I think Radar, Surround Sound, Crack Sandwich belong together. Then you could probably put the Money in the Better Days, but depending on where that goes, because they could also be used as outro tracks. And then you have like the slower tracks with Ari Lennox, and then Bruddenham, Sissinum, like those tracks kind of fit together. So there's a lot of different sounds here. I just wish that there was more intentionality with the placement, and just with the strategy going into rolling out JID, who is recognized as one of the most talented up and coming artists in the game.
Yeah, I think, and like you said, like the framework is there, and I like that comparison you made to the Melodic Blue, where it's like you can see where everything's going, or where everything hopefully is going. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes too, when artists take a long time between albums, we get fooled to think that they're working on the same project the whole time.
Mhm.
But for all we know, JID made 10 albums in that time, and you know what I mean? Then you like things get scrapped, things get changed, things get whatever. I do think it's interesting to go a 4 year wait, like you said, and have your outro track not be there. That is strange, and maybe it's like something they didn't know right away, but I do agree with you in a way that you that should be something that's like taken care of, because it's not like JID's a small artist either.
Mhm.
It's not like he's like a grassroots right now, at least. Like obviously coming up, that was the case, but like he's on Dreamville, like J. Cole is there.
J. Cole is
It's
probably the reason why he has the 21 Savage feature, for being
right.
honest, like,
So
and the Lil
stuff
Durk
like
feature.
that is interesting. In my notes I had the same thing where that last song, uh I can't even remember the name of it right now. But
2007.
no, the one that's actually
Oh, I'll
track
pull it up.
15,
Keep going. I got you.
Lauder 2.
Yeah.
Um I have the same exact note where I was like, this doesn't feel like an outro. And from a rapper like JID, you expect that last outro. It doesn't have to be like Drake or someone like that's known for the outro where they're gonna take that last song to really talk to you. I wasn't expecting that from JID. Obviously, he's very capable of that, and if it was that, I'd be happy. But like similar to the intro where it's very musical and everything,
Hmm.
I like the back part of track 15, the end of it, where it does have that kind of you ride out to just like the music, and it's not so much, let me show you how good I am at rapping. And I don't think there's a ton of moments on this project to kind of like get away from the outro. I don't think there's a ton of moments on this project where he's really, really just like trying to show you how well he raps for the sake of showing you how well he raps. There's a couple moments though where it does happen. I think on like Don't Punk Me or Can't Punk
Hmm.
Me, he does that. Even on to begin with Radar, like after the intro is pretty like harmonious and then you immediately get dropped into Radar. I know that some people like that and some people are very into like the how fast can this person rap? That's not me
Hmm.
with anybody. Like I don't it like it's impressive and it's part of hip hop and it's a foundational piece of like rap music to be able to, do that. And it's something that's garnered a ton of respect for, 5
Eminem.
decades at this point,
Hmm.
but it's just not for me. Like I don't like that type. So the songs where he is, and I know he talked about it where he was saying that he wants to concentrate more on the melody and show that he's just as good of a singer as he is a rapper. I think the moments where that really comes out, like on Cody Blue 31, that's my
Hmm.
favorite song on this album, and it's because he sings the entire first half of it. And honestly, like you've heard him in other places, but I didn't know he could sing like that.
Yeah.
Like that was a really, really beautiful song. And it kind of transitions into another thing I know we want to talk about where that song is the same instrumental all the way through. And he's showing his versatility on the instrumental where he's singing the first half, rapping the second half, as opposed to a lot of other moments on this album where there's a beat switch like halfway through or two-thirds of the way through, and then it's a whole other instrumental to show off a different skill set. So I think the framework is there. I think there are some moments where I'm like, maybe that beat switch isn't necessary. And you and I talked about it yesterday. Ever since like Nights by Frank Ocean and Sicko Mode by Drake and Travis Scott, everyone like if there is a beat switch, there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh my god, like this is the craziest song of all time because that
Hmm.
has two beats on one. And I'm like, sometimes though,
Even
if it's
Life is Good
too
is
much,
kind of overhyped from the standpoint of Drake and Future not rapping on the same beat. It kind of takes away a little from it.
exactly.
And I feel that way about the track with Yasin Bey. If I let me pull up the track list once again. It's track 11 Stars. Like I like JID's portion of it, and I think Yasin Bey's portion um I think that's good. I in an isolated vacuum, but together it just doesn't make sense to me. Additionally, when you talk about Lauder 2, that's another example of that where the first half of the track kind of sounds like Can't Punk Me
Yeah,
with Earth Gang, and then the second half is melodic as fuck. And it's like that contrast is cool if you're a Rod Wave and you're known for like the contrast between the melody and also the soulfulness in the Rod Wave is what you're known for, why people are listening to you for, what people are listening to you for. But as JID, a rapper, we're kind of like there's just so many parts where it's a good concept, but I'm not fully able to judge it because it cuts off too quickly. For
yeah,
example, when you look at surround sound, I wanted to hear more of Baby Tate on that. And then it cuts off and then it's a slow down beat and then JID's rapping on it. The rapping's good. We can't like no, there's no issue to be had with JID's
right.
rapping or his talent. It's just the execution in which he goes about on this album. So I that's why I think the Baby Keem reference is appropriate. I also like that you brought up sicko mode because I think surround sound is kind of like his version of sicko mode. It's like it's two beats on there, but people want to hear more from Drake on sicko mode. Like I want to hear the
Yeah.
full verse from Drake on sicko mode the same way I want to hear the full verse from Baby Tate. Um, Additionally, I think what did you think about the features on this album?
So I like on Can't Punk Me, I like Earth Gang honestly more than the JID part. I think 21 does his thing. like at this point 21 isn't missing
Yeah, no.
ever. Like he just isn't missing, and especially when it comes to features. Um, I think if the Yasin Bey feature had been the only time something like that happened, it would have felt a little more special because I think it's a really good verse, and I even like the
Mhm.
transition into that switch.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
let's
the
hear a word from our ancestors. I like that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like I really
Mhm.
like that because it really pays homage to like a foundational member of like 21st century hip hop.
Mhm.
Um, so I didn't have any issues with any of the features. Like on Lauder 2, it's just not my favorite song. So I think it kind of it just was underwhelming, I guess. I think Ari Lennox, I love that song with Ari Lennox. What is that? Man, I
Track
took my notes on like paper this week, so like I feel like I'm 1,000 years old.
track
I'm
10.
flipping through.
Can't make you
Yeah,
change. Track 10.
can't make you change. I think that the her chorus where it's very repetitive, but it's very like slow and very soulful. I think it almost serves as like I know that song isn't an interlude, but it's almost a break
Mhm.
from like the intensity because this project it's not like it's super intense, but just with JID rapping, you really have to listen to it, and it's for the better. And like you said, no one's ever gonna be like, oh, he didn't rap well on that song. Like he raps well on every single song. But I really like that. So I like the features quite a bit. Um, and honestly, I think that if we weren't so inundated by like switches and stuff, I think the Yasin Bey verse would probably be my favorite.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. The one feature I do have an issue with is the Lil Durk feature.
Oh yeah,
I
I forgot about
I
that.
like
Yeah,
I don't want to hear Lil Durk on a track without any 808s behind it at all. Like
yeah,
you need to like I appreciate JID putting Lil Durk in a situation where we're not used to hearing Lil Durk from. But I think that it would have been better. It would have made more sense if Lil Durk is rapping instead of using the auto tune on that beat. And if he, I think it's one or two ways. It's either no 808s and Dirk you just rap, or 808s and Dirk you could do the voice shit if you want to.
yeah,
And I it kind of seems like it's caught in the middle a little bit. That's really my only issue aside from not hearing more Baby Tate's verse from
yeah.
the features. Um,
I
yeah.
forgot the Wayne one too.
Mhm.
Wayne's another person where it's like I know he's gonna. There was a time when a lot of people were like he's not rapping well, and people wanted Lil Wayne like out of here, like the mid 2010s when people were really like really hard on him. I didn't mind the Wayne feature. It's strange when one of the legends does so many features because you're like when Jay Z does a verse, and we saw it this weekend when he shows up on Khaled's album, everyone's like, "All right, let's go hear this."
Can I just say one thing real quick before you get into
Yeah, of
it?
course.
I don't care who it is. Track two being 8 minutes is wild as fuck. Continue.
Especially after that fake like Drake intro where he's just, like, yeah, but like, so it's always strange to hear like Wayne does so many features and he appears on a lot of stuff, and it's great because he is one of the legends. He's undeniably like one of the probably like five most important rappers ever.
Mhm.
Sometimes though, I wish like it's almost like I wish he would pick his spots more, but at the same time, like Wayne's a prolific rapper. He doesn't like his thing is like I don't even remember the
Yeah.
verses that I do. Like I'm like literally like this is second nature to me. So it's like a double-edged sword where I really like Wayne's verse, but I'm like I kind of just heard like a similar thing on the Khaled album, but at the same time, it's like, am I really complaining about a good Lil Wayne verse?
Nah,
So
not at
right,
all. Also, Carter
exactly.
6 coming out soon. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the reason why he's well, I don't know if he's increased his being visual, his ability to be visual,
Yeah.
but I don't know, just maybe I'm trying to connect something that's not there. I think one thing I do want to say also is I think that in terms of song construction, I think that Money is the best constructed song on the album. I
Oh,
think that
absolutely.
like the beat progression that goes with JID's flow is perfect. Like that's the
Yeah.
one song that like if I had like we already said it before. JID is one of the best rappers and one of the best up and coming rappers. So basically, everything that we're saying is nitpicks. Can be categorized into nitpicks, but I think that the one song that you can't say anything about, like have any criticism about, is Money. I think that that for sure is a song that I would love to play over and over again. It kind of reminds me about championships, the song. on Championships by Meek Mill. Like the way that that beat progresses as well as Meek Mill. The beat kind of picks up when Meek Mill gets to the most important part of his verses. I
Yeah.
love that part too, and it kind of gives me the same feel. Money does give me the same feel as that. So yeah. Um,
Yeah, that doesn't that give you the feeling like when you first started listening to this music and really caring about it and really understanding it, where like one of like the more introspective rappers would have this song on the project that you're like when you're like 11, 12 or whatever, you're like, damn, like this rapper knows everything about everything. You know what I mean? It's
my first Lupe
that was
Fiasco
it was
experience.
super nostalgic. Exactly. It was like I felt exactly like when I first started hearing Lupe when I was younger, and I was like, wow, like this guy knows it all. Like
Nah,
that's exactly how I felt.
I mean, like the what do you think JID needs to do to become more of a household name in hip hop?
What's interesting is I think he had a chance to become more of a household name. Like he was supposed to open for Mac Miller on the tour right before Mac died.
Mm-hmm.
Like that tour was supposed to be, and there's a lot of artists that have gone on tour, and it's not just because of Mac Miller, it's just because of the eyes you get from being with like, you know, someone who has a huge fan base. Like Chance the Rapper, Action Bronson, the internet, like Thundercat, all of them were on tour with Mac, and like their following grew exponentially from doing that. And I think JID had a really good opportunity, or it's not had an opportunity, it was there, and then it
Mm-hmm.
got taken away, like, you know, tragically got taken away, where that would have been an opportunity to get so many more eyes on him in an isolated thing where he's not in Dreamville, he's not under in J. Cole's shadow. It's very much like, all right, here's this opening artist that everybody knows, and you know, you have the people who are just there for him, but then it's like this rapper who's like on like the B tier, like stuff, something like that can really push an artist into like that A tier of like, all right, we know this person and we're gonna follow them like avidly because of it. I think that if JID's next project is just a little bit more dialed in, and you take the moments that are perfect from this album and you expand them and you dig deeper, then I think, I don't know if he'll ever be a household name because of that, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives you a much better chance when you keep putting out good music over and over and over again for years at this point. And yeah, it's like it's weird because I don't know if a rapper like him without the TikTok sounds and without the being Drake or Future, or you know what I mean? I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if like the household name thing will happen, but I think that's a, if he just keeps doing what he's doing and keeps refining, which I know he will, um, I think that's probably his best bet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what comes out of the Gangsta Grills mixtape that he's supposedly supposed to drop. I don't know when it's supposed to drop. I hope it's not in 4 years. I hope it's like next year or so. But
Yeah, that's
um,
kind of what it was seeming like on Twitter, right? It was
yeah.
like coming sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which would be perfect. It would be a great way to reward fans for waiting 4 years and with two projects in a year. I think that would be great. Well, three because he was on D-Day. So what are your favorite tracks on the Forever Story?
so normally I just have three of them,
Mhm.
and this time I was writing them down, and I got to eight, but we'll pare this list down. So let me get my notepad. I really like Dance Now. I like Crack Sandwich. Cody Blue 31 is my favorite songs. Is my favorite song. System, Money, and Better Days.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of your picks. I think I will add Radar in there. Crack Sandwich is growing on me. Dance Now is interesting because Dance Now is a track. The second verse, when I don't know what accent JID puts on at the start of that second verse, but it's kind of off-putting at first, and then you adjust to it, and you're like, okay, this
Yeah.
is still a really good
Uh-huh.
song. So that was I kind of had to juggle whether or not to put that in my favorite tracks. I ultimately didn't, but it is a song that I will continue to listen to. But Surround Sound, when it came out in January, has been one of my favorite songs of the year. When you have JID, 21 Savage, I want more of Baby Tate verse, please. If there's anything for JID to do, if he wants to drop a deluxe, is drop the full Baby Tate verse. That would be nice, like kind of like Donda 2 with all those like part twos and shit. So that would be nice. So I mean, just to say it formally, Radar, Crack Sandwich, Surround Sound, Money, and Better Days. All righty. This has been the Cat Podcast, episode 317. I am Nate Sperlin. That is Taylor McLeod. do us a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Old Milk Media. Check out the Old Milk Spins playlist on oldmilk.co. All the links are there to Spotify and YouTube. And check out all the other Old Milk content at oldmilk.co. We will be back when hip hop tells us to be, and we are out. Thank you for watching.